Hello, good morning, students, class 10th. Now we have come to the last part of this chapter, that is Lifelines of National Economy, and we all know the importance of each and every type of lifelines because they keep our life going, whether it is transportation of people or it is transportation of goods. We all are dependent very much on transportation. Just think one day if there is strike of the road transportation or rail transportation, so much damage can happen to the country's economy. Like, for example, if any student has to go to give some competitive exam, or if any patient has to reach hospital very fast, or say simple getting the supply of fresh vegetables and the essential commodities will totally come to a halt if the transport goes off the road. So, this transport, communication, transport system especially are lifelines of economy. But communication is equally important because communication system keeps the transportation system going. Like, for example, children sitting right in our homes, we can easily book the tickets of air travel, or right in our homes, we can chat with our friends who is staying abroad. So, that is possible only because we are having a developed communication system. Since human beings appeared on this earth, communication is very important because we have to express our feelings, our thoughts to our friends, to our family members, and when we do so, we communicate. We transfer our knowledge, our information, our feeling to others through the different means of communication. Communication can be short distance communication when we talk personally. Sometimes we talk to a large number of people. Sometimes we can communicate over long distance without the physical movement. Like just now, I gave you the example of chatting with a friend who is staying abroad, and without any kind of physical movement, we do so. Now, personal communication takes place when we communicate to a single person, like, for example, we are talking over the phone, or simply we are chatting in the mobile with another friend. That is, we are communicating with a single person, or we are writing a letter to anybody. So, that is personal communication. But sometimes, when we need to communicate to a large number of people at a time, that is our mass communication. That is, together, a huge number of people are getting the message. Now, this mass communication can take place with various means, like the commonest one is radio, TV, newspaper, films. All these are the different means by which we can convey our message to a large number of people, and very recently the social media is also playing a very important role in helping us to communicate, to convey to a large number of people. So, in terms of personal communication, the main role that has been played in our life since a time immemorial is the postal network. And the Indian postal network is the largest one, it's the largest network in the world, and we have post offices located in the remote corners of the country. Now, this postal department transports both first class mail and second class mail. First class mails require immediate handing over or immediate transportation. Now, for first class mail, we require immediate transportation. That means air transport becomes important, and it can cover both the movement through roadways and railways as well as airways. Whereas second class mail has no urgency in reaching the destination, and so it can also take the help of water transport. So land transport, water transport is utilized for second class mails. Now, to facilitate quick delivery, our government has introduced, of course, the speed post service, which we know it's like a courier service, and this speed post service greatly help to get the products very fast. Apart from that, our government has also introduced several channels like Rajdhani channel, Metro channel, then Green channel, Business channel, Bulk mail channel, and Periodical channel. Now, first Rajdhani channel, what is this? This is the movement of letters between the Rajdhanis, that is between the capitals of state. So we all know that every place has been assigned one pin code. So when the letters or the packets have to move in between these capitals, then we use the Rajdhani channel. The pin code will be mentioned of the state capitals only, and we will use the Rajdhani channel for that, and in that case the movement will be faster. Metro channel, now for Rajdhani channel we have to use the yellow colored letter box. Like every GPO is having this yellow colored letter box, and if we drop the letter in the yellow colored letter box, that means that letter is meant to reach to some state capital. So remember children, the letter box is of yellow color. In Metro channel, we connect the metros. So the main 5 metros are the 4 main capital cities like Delhi, Mumbai, New Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and Bangalore. These are the 5 metros of our country, and if we want our letter to reach to any of these metro cities, and if ourselves are living in some metro cities, we will find that the letter box is of light blue color. For Rajdhani it was yellow, and for Metro channel it is light blue. The third one is Green channel. Now for Green channel, obviously the letter box is of green colored, and this is meant for local delivery. Suppose you are living in some locality of your city and you want the letter to reach to some other locality of the same city, then you will have to drop your letter in the green colored box, and so we utilize the green channel. Business channel. Now business channel mainly sorts the letter or delivers the letter that has been issued from the business houses and the government. Sometimes you will find that there are envelopes where it is printed on government duty. So these letters move through the business channel. Then we have the bulk mail channel. Bulk mail channel is the channel which carries letters in bulk. Like suppose anybody is having some marriage party and a lot of invitations has to be sent, then they take the advantage of bulk mail channel, and when we are mailing in bulk, obviously some offers or discounts is availed. And then we have the periodical channels. Now the periodical channel carries the periodicals or the magazines that we subscribe to, and we get them monthly. So in this way, the government, the postal department works under the central government, and all these channels have greatly helped in faster movement of mails throughout the country and also abroad. We are having the largest network of postal in the country, post offices in the country. Now second comes telephone, that is telecom network, and we are again having one of the largest telecom network in Asia. And this telecom network has been possible, this huge connectivity of telecom network is possible only with the help of very advanced space technology, and this was the contribution of our late Prime Minister Sri Rajiv Gandhi, who greatly helped and computerized the entire telecommunication system. And every place, almost every place, every remote corners of our country has been covered, and every place is having one code which is known as subscriber trunk dialing. So this is known as STD code, and it is greatly helpful in talking to any person who is staying at a distant place but within the country. STD code is used to dial any other place within the country, and 24 hours this STD facilities is available. We can talk to anyone throughout the day or any time at night with the help of this STD facility. So this has greatly been possible due to the integrating of space technology with our communication technology. Computerization of our communication technology has greatly helped us in maintaining connectivity throughout the country and even outside the country with the help of IST facility. Then comes our mass communication. As I said, there are different means of mass communication where we connect to a large number of people at a time. It has greatly helped in creating awareness about everything among the people. It has provided entertainment to the people. Radio, television, newspaper, magazine, books, films, all of them work together in maintaining connectivity. In case of radio, we have this All India Radio or the Akashvani, which broadcast a variety of programs and in different languages, national, regional, local languages. All of them are used to broadcast and entertain people belonging to different age groups. Similarly, we have this Doordarshan. Doordarshan is the national television network. So there are at present many private channels who are airing programs, who are broadcasting programs and entertaining people belonging to different age groups, people belonging to different languages. So there are regional programs, local programs which are broadcasted all over the world. And they not only provide us entertainment, and they also broadcast telecast sports, educational programs. So everything is covered by this means of communication. They are mass communication means, and they communicate to the entire world at a time. So in radio also nowadays there are many private channels, like we have this FM channels which are private channels. So, radio and televisions, both of them cater to the needs, entertain to the people, create awareness among the people. Then comes our newspapers and periodicals. Newspapers are also printed in different languages and they are circulated all over the country. So there are almost 100 languages in which the newspaper is printed. The maximum number of newspaper that gets circulated in our country is in Hindi. The second language is English and third is in Urdu. So in India again we have the largest network and supply of newspapers because different languages are used to print or publish newspapers. Similarly, in feature films also we are the largest producers, and we are producing different categories like video feature films, video short films. Then we are producing different categories of documentaries. So the Central Board of Film Certification is the one that certify both Indian and foreign films. So these are the means of mass communication as well as personal communication. The next topic that we will study is the international trade. Trading is very important within the country. We are trading, but we are also carrying out trade across the world. In your class 9th also you have studied, children, that India is located in such a way that we are trading through the land routes as well as through the water routes. So the exchange of goods between people, between states, between countries is termed as trade. But when we are trading with other countries, it is called international trade. Now there are two aspects of international trade. One is the export, the other is the import. In case of export, we trade, in fact we send the goods to other country. In case of import, we buy from other countries. However, local trade is also carried out. Local trade is carried in cities, in towns, villages, and state level trade is carried out in between the states. But international trade is considered as an indicator of economic development for any country. The more we trade, the more we will earn foreign exchange, provided it is export trade. So the difference between the export and import trade is known as balance of trade. When export is more, we call it favorable balance of trade. When import is more, it is unfavorable balance of trade. Why it is important? Because trading is done in dollars. So if we export more, we will earn in dollars and it will increase the foreign exchange reserve of the country. So trading has to be favorable. That means there must be favorable balance of trade. Now India has trade relations with all the major giants of the world, major trading blocks of the world, and among the commodities that is exported, obviously agricultural products, because we are basically an agricultural country. We are dominantly producing different agricultural products and processing the agricultural products in the agro-based industry. So agriculture and allied products, they cover the maximum, they share the maximum percentage of export trade. Then we are also selling our ores and minerals, different kinds of ores and minerals like iron ore, other minerals also, gems and jewelry, and some petroleum products are there, which are including coal, which are there forming a part of export trade. Now you don't have to memorize the percentage because percentage changes over the years. Now there are some commodities which we have to buy. The most important one is petroleum and petroleum products. We all know that in our country we are having petroleum in less supply. So petroleum and petroleum products, different kinds of pearls and precious stone. We all know Indians are in love with jewelries and precious stones. So pearls and precious stone. Then chemicals, different chemicals are purchased. We are having a very huge chemical industry in the country. We are also dependent upon chemicals. Coal, coke and briquette. Now what is briquette? Briquette is a block of flammable material that easily catches fire. It is in fact a block of compressed coal dust. Compressed coal dust or peat, which is used as a fuel mainly in the industries. So imports are mainly confined to these products. Now there are some bulk imports which takes place as a group, which includes fertilizers, like you have studied in industry chapter that we are having potash in less supply, and in fertilizers are very important for our country because we are an agro based country. So cereals are there, some cereals, edible oils like olive oil, newsprint. Newsprint is mainly used to print newspaper. So we are having very less area of coniferous trees, and mainly coniferous trees are used to produce this newsprint. Very recently, international trade has undergone a sea change, because in the recent years we find that not only there has been an exchange of goods, but there is exchange of information and knowledge. Our country is playing a very important role and earning foreign exchange in the export of information technology. Indian software personnels are in demand all over the world. Next comes our tourism. So tourism has grown substantially in recent years, and India is having a huge number of places which are of great attraction for the foreign tourist, whether it is northern India or southern India. Every nook and corner of the country is dotted with tourist spots, and they attract a huge number of tourists. Now, the arrival of foreign tourists is very much welcome because we earn foreign exchange, and there are huge number of people who are directly or indirectly engaged in this tourism industry. Now, the people who are engaged in tourism industry are not only the ones, those who are engaged in transportation, but also people who are managing hotels. They are managing different kinds of organizations to help the tourists. There is very recently, there are some groups who conduct this tourism to foreign countries like SOTC, and there are many other resorts also which have come up, like Club Mahindra Resort, Toshali Sand Resorts in Puri. So different organizations are there, different resorts are set up, different groups of hotels are there. So many people are engaged, those who are producing handicrafts to sell to the tourists, those people who work as tourist guides, the people who are engaged in showcasing different kinds of traditions and culture to the foreign people. They are also a part of this tourism industry. We are having so many monuments, archaeological monuments. The people, those who maintain these archaeological monuments, they are also a part of this tourism and culture. Now, foreign tourists, they visit our country for different purpose. Some of them will try to visit the places which are of great importance in terms of culture, in terms like for example, they will visit the temple towns, or some will try to visit the wildlife sanctuaries and national parks. Some will go for your scuba diving or mountaineering. Then some will come for treatment. Some will visit India for business purpose. So in this way, different types of tourists visit our country according to their needs. So India as a country has lot of potential for development of tourism in each and every parts, and efforts are being made from the government to promote this as an upcoming industry. So children, with this we come to the end of our syllabus of class 10, and whatever is left we will complete that through the online class mode. Thank you children, listen to your videos and have a nice time.